And Russia may be the most sanctioned country in the world, but it's still using its massive energy revenues to fund the war in Ukraine. Donald Trump is announcing sweeping new secondary tariffs that would target any country still doing business with Russia, unless a ceasefire is in place by Friday, August 8th. To help us understand what these sanctions would mean for Russia, I sat down with our correspondent, Zivo.
U.S. President Donald Trump announced 2 weeks ago that he will impose harsh tariffs upon Russia and its main trading partners if a peace deal with Ukraine is not signed by August 8th, which is this Friday. With his deadline now looming, Trump has sent his special envoy Steve Witkoff to Moscow to negotiate with the Kremlin, yet few expect any breakthrough will be made. For 3 years, Putin has maintained the same maximalist demands for a negotiated end to his invasion of Ukraine. He has insisted that Kyiv cede the 4 Ukrainian provinces that Russia unilaterally annexed in late 2022, even though they are not fully controlled by Russian forces. And he has further demanded that Ukraine sever all of its international security alliances, reduce the size of its military by more than 80%, and reduce the size of its weapons arsenals by over half. Trump's tariff threats and peace deadline were intended to force Putin to shift his position, but media reports suggest that Russian elites have not been worried. Many of them reportedly doubt that Trump will follow through on his threats, given the general erraticism of his policies, or have doubted that such measures will be effective. Putin also does not seem to believe that ending the war would be in Russia's interests right now, as Russian forces are currently advancing slowly but steadily along several segments of the front lines. Witkoff's presence in Moscow is not expected to be a game changer, as the special envoy is widely considered to be a lightweight who is in over his head. This week, however, Russia expressed an openness to an air truce with Ukraine, wherein the war would continue, but without aerial attacks deep into either country's territory. Such a truce is seen as disproportionately advantageous to Russia, as attacking Russia's oil infrastructure is one of the few ways that Kyiv can create economic pressure for a just and lasting peace settlement. In general, Moscow appears to have concluded that the United States cannot be negotiated with, while the first months of the second Trump presidency were characterized by an unusual friendliness between Trump and Putin, which manifested as a desire for economic and political rapprochement. That relationship is evidently soured. Trump's rhetoric towards Russia's attacks on Ukrainian civilians has shifted, with him now expressing a moral revulsion at the horrific scenes seen in Kyiv and other bombed Ukrainian cities. If Trump's deadline is not met and he follows through with his threats, then it seems that the impacts of his tariffs will disproportionately fall on India. India has resisted American pressure to wean itself off Russian oil and gas, as these products have been instrumental to the country's economic growth. If the threat of tariffs manages to change Delhi's mind, though, the impacts on Russia's economy could be considerable. I'm Zivo, reporting from Odessa, Ukraine, for the News 4.